Alright, I think that is perfect enough, or as perfect as it's gonna get. Okay, well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Aero Show. Today we have a lot of different topics to talk about. I didn't get to do the Friday show because I went on vacation. It was a 2-day vacation, but anyway, I'm back, and hopefully, from next week we can get back to our regularly scheduled programming. So, we have a lot of topics that I wanted to talk about today, and we have a lot of stuff that's happened just in the past 2 days, and we have some stuff that I didn't cover on Wednesday's show because I got really, really tired. But now I have a little bit of energy left, so I can do a lot more topics, and hopefully, we can go all the way till 2 a.m. in the morning. So I've done some updates. I figured out a lot of different ways to kind of improve the quality of the live stream, and also have, obviously, we have this which shows time. I don't know, it looks kind of cool, but I have to still figure it out how to make this a wallpaper because it's just an app. But yeah, anyway, it's 11:14 in the morning, in at night. The show's gonna go on till 2 a.m. on July 10th. And so yeah, we're gonna start off with some pretty big topics. Obviously, we have the whole Shinzo Abe, former president of Japan, unfortunately being passed away after being assassinated. We have we have the whole Rogers thing in Canada, where majority of Canada basically lost a lot of network services, and we have stuff with Sri Lanka, stuff with President Biden, stuff, a lot of stuff, and we're gonna get into it right away. So yeah, without a further ado, yeah, let's get it right into this. So, our first topic of the day is Biden signs executive order on abortion access. So, obviously, we guys do know about how a few weeks ago the Supreme Court basically he made it official that they're not going to grant any form of law to states to prevent them from banning abortions, which is a pretty big deal in the United States. A lot of people were vocal about it, and a lot of people had a lot to say on top of it. So yeah, President Biden, and especially a lot of people who are on the Democrat side or the left side, pretty much hate this, and they disagree with a lot of it. And now he has signed. Now the president has signed an executive order to ban on abortion access. So yeah, once again, let me just increase the. Okay, I think that's viewable enough. So yeah, President Biden signed an executive order on Friday aimed at protecting access to abortion, as he faces mounting pressure from fellow Democrats to be more forceful on the subject after Supreme Court ended a constitutional right to the procedure 2 weeks ago. The president had blasted the court's decision and urged Americans to vote for candidates in November who support abortion rights legislation. This was not a decision driven by Constitution, and despite what those justices in the majority said, this was not a decision driven by history. Mr. Biden at the White House Friday, flanked by Vice President Kamala Harris and and Human Services Health and Human Services Xavier Becerra. So the main point, what the Supreme Court made is the decision was there is no law in there's nothing written in the Constitution that says that abortion should be allowed. But as we all know, that Constitution was written many, many years ago, decades ago, and obviously stuff has now changed nowadays. You know, rape has gone up a lot, and obviously living conditions have been in becoming more expensive, and so it's at this time it is really not a good recommend. It's really not a good time to start raising a child, and there are a lot of different things why this rule just severely how do you say it? People have been saying that how this is a it's taking we're going back in time where women's rights have been taken away, and there is obviously some truth to that argument. I do believe that it's once again. I'm sure many of us believe that uh, a woman has to have rights over her body and all of that. And yeah, so we have all been pretty vocal about this. I mean, a majority of us who support this obviously do support um, rights and rights to women, and this is just a massive kick in the face for that. Obviously, we still stand by what we say. We say that not only because the main point that I have tried to express is if someone is willing to get an abortion, the chances are they don't want to take care of that child. Either they're unable to raise that child properly, so as by forcing them to go through this is and to raise a child, not only just it just makes the life of both of them extremely hard. That child is raised up in various circumstances, and it is just a bad thing for both sides. If a if a woman is obviously willing to go through a procedure like this, chances are she's unable or she doesn't want to take care. So to basically force someone to take care of a child that they cannot is the main reason and why this is such a bad idea. So that's just mainly my point. The actions that the president outlined on Friday are intended to try to migrate some potential penalties women seeking abortion may face after the ruling, but are limited in their ability to safeguard access to abortion nationwide. So the main solution right now, which many people are trying to follow but still aren't accepting, is to go into states where this is still allowed and going with the procedures there. Now, obviously, given time, these the states that allow this are going to go fewer and fewer and fewer, and then it's going to be a real pain to go through a procedure like this. And I'm glad that the president is trying to circumvent this and just making lives easier. So yeah, specifically the executive order asks the Justice Department to do everything within its power to protect women seeking abortion, including protects women's rights to travel to another state for an abortion and to protect access to food and drug administration and approved abortion drugs. This order also directs the Health and Human Services Department to ensure all women and girls experiencing pregnancy loss receive the emergency care they need, no matter what their state they are in. The executive order also protects access to contraception and expands access to free contraception, Mr. Biden said. Consider the challenge accepted, he said, addressing the High Court, but in the meantime, I am signing this important executive order. So there are many ways to go about this, and I think an executive order is the best way to kind of push this narrative that hey, what this ruling is terrible because you're not saving a child here. You're actively making that child and its parents have a worse life. Because be honest, you guys obviously have your own opinion, but my opinion is the same. Raising a child, especially in this day and age, is really hard. Not only do you have this rapidly declining system where living costs are going higher and higher, crime rates are going higher and higher, and at this point, it is not a good idea. And there are many ways to obviously avoid this, but you shouldn't be able to avoid this in the first place, because once again, it is a legal right that someone should have. So anyone is supposed to have any right to do with their body, regardless of how old that child is, regardless of how bad or good the cases are. It is still a woman's right to do whatever she wants with her body. And to force a narrative that, hey, you have to raise a child that you have been growing in, that has been growing inside you, is just a massive kick in the face to just both sides, because not only are you ruining the life of that woman, you're ruining the life of that child. And in there are so many cases where this can be bad. Obviously, lack of any financial stability, lack of any kind of support, lack of any kind of knowledge on how to raise a child, lack of there are a lot of things. And basically forcing someone to go through this and give birth and properly raise a child is good. The success rate for that is very low. Not to mention medical related stuff. Like if a woman is at serious, if the woman or the baby is at significant health risk, that has to be that should not be the point where we draw the line. Obviously, things can happen, things can go wrong, and it's sad that things can go wrong. But even at that point, also people are trying to push the narrative that, hey, people should not go through this procedure, and there is no reason for why they're pushing this narrative, other than that they just want to ruin lives. So yeah, similar. Wait, I just finished that. And the executive order also directs agencies to work to educate medical providers and insurers about how and when they are required to share privileged patient information with authorities. Is an effort to protect women who seek or utilize these services. It also asks the Federal Trade Commission to take steps to protect the raw data privacy of those seeking information about abortion and other reproductive services online. Mr. Biden insisted that the right to privacy is embedded in the Constitution. This decision affects everyone. Oh yeah, I didn't elaborate on this. So obviously, um, people will be, they will look up the stuff related to this to know how it goes through, where you can get, who is recommended, and what how to go basically go through with this. And that information should not be given to who that information should be private, because obviously it's something that you are seeking for yourself, and it should not generally be shared with anyone else who might have the motive to use it against you by reporting you to the police, or reporting that agency to the police, and basically trying to stop this procedure. So yeah, that's why this data should be private. This decision affects everyone, unrelated to choice, beyond choice. Mr. Biden told the county, we cannot allow an out of control Supreme Court working in conjunction with extremist elements of the Republican Party to take away freedoms and our personal autonomy. Now, the one thing I don't understand is why they're pushing this narrative. A majority of what I've seen online that are in defense for this basically say that they're trying to save a child. And you're trying to save a child from what? You cannot save a child that has not been born. In no way that makes sense. So, I don't see any kind of defense to this, or reason as to why the Supreme Court, or especially the Republican Party, wants to wants to rule this deal in favor of themselves. Because if you think about it, this doesn't affect anyone in the Republican Party. They're just trying to take that's what I see. This is just trying to take away a woman's rights, and that is particularly stupid to go about it that way. If that is their motive, and if that's their motive, that is extremely fucked up. I don't know what to say, and I've been trying to think about why this is happening, because obviously it makes no sense that they're trying to protect the unborn. because that makes zero sense. By even, you know, giving birth to them, and raising them even to the the perfect degree, you're still better off with that child not being born. Because if that child is never born, there is no way it can go through any kind of pain or suffering that any of us living beings do. So, regardless of what you say, you are not protecting the unborn. That unborn basically has no feelings, it has no social security, it has nothing to its name. So, what are you protecting it from? I don't understand. So yeah, on Friday, Mr. Biden urged people, particularly women, to vote in November, saying the fastest way to restore Roe begins at the ballot box. We need 2 additional pro-choice senators and a pro-choice House to codify Roe as federal law. The president said your vote can make that a reality. The White House has said the administration will also convene volunteer lawyers to provide women and providers with bono legal assistance to help them navigate new state restrictions after the Supreme Court ruling. The order, which he signed weeks after the High Court's June 24th ruling, saying that ended the nationwide right to abortion and left it to states to determine whether or how to allow the procedure, comes as Mr. Biden faces criticism from some in his own party for not acting with more urgency to protect women's access to abortion. The decision in the case is known as Dobbs v. Jackson. Women Health Organization overturned the court's landmark 1973 where a Roe versus Wade ruling. Since the decision, Mr. Biden has stressed that his ability to protect abortion rights by executive action is limited without congressional action. Ultimately, Congress is going to have to act to codify Roe into federal law, Mr. Biden said last week during a virtual meeting with Democratic governors. The tasking to the Justice Department and the HHS is expected to push the agencies to fight in court to protect women, but it conveys no guarantees that the judicial system will take the side against potential prosecution by states that have moved to outlaw abortion. And that's the end of the article. So what are my thoughts? My thoughts are pretty simple. I wouldn't say that I'm necessarily pro-choice, but it is, once again, not my opinion or choice that matters. It is the choice of the woman. If she decides that she doesn't want to be a mother, then she has to have every right to go through with any procedures. And it can be from any reason. You cannot say no to that, because saying no to that means that that woman has to, one, give birth, two, raise a child properly, and those two things, especially during this time, are extremely hard to do. You need proper financial stability with a reliable income that is sufficient for both you and your child. You need enough time to take care of that child. You need all this knowledge and all of this kind of training on how to take care of a child. And if anyone is unwilling or unable to go through that, let's just talk about that, pre-giving birth scenario. Like, if a woman is either going to face some serious health conditions, or if the baby is going to face some kind of health conditions, and if you're able to predict that before the child is even born, there is no point giving birth to it and trying to raise it and trying to fight off whatever health issues it might have. So that is the main scenario, and that is a scenario where everyone mostly draws the line. Is that if there is a case that if in a case that a woman or the child faces serious health conditions, if it's gonna be born and it faces serious health conditions, that's when the child has to, any procedures to get that child aborted have to be done. And that is not where the line should be drawn. There are many cases, like I've said, financial stability, lack of support, lack of experience or training, and many things. And these are still not even the places that it should be drawn. It should be drawn where a woman is it's her decision. And regardless of anything, maybe it's perfect financial background, maybe she has all the support, maybe she has maybe the father of the child is also there, maybe maybe everything is all right, still she should have a right to terminate the pregnancy. Not and no one else, regardless of me, regardless of you, should have a right to object that. So yeah, that's just my opinion, and hopefully I explained it properly. So yeah, once again, article by CBS News. I will have it in the description down below. And so yeah, let's move on to our next. I think this is what the second biggest topic. So yeah, Sri Lanka Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe says he's willing to resign as protests storm the president's residence. And so you guys do know that if you guys didn't know, uh, wait, I can't speak. So, you guys know that Russia is going through, I mean, not Russia, Sri Lanka is going through a huge economic crisis right now. The government has basically declared Sri Lanka as bankrupt, and there are protests everywhere. So, recently, almost like a day ago, Sri Lanka's Prime Minister Ranil says he's willing to resign as protesters storm inside president's residence. So yes, protesters actually stormed his house or his residence. Obviously, he's not there currently. He's been moved to a safe location. Shouldn't, at least I'm assuming, because yeah. So anyway, this massive riots everywhere. Basically, stuff is horrible. Current, like it's horrible in Sri Lanka, and my hearts and support goes out to the people there. But it will get better, hopefully. So yeah, Sri Lanka's Prime Minister. First of all, article by CNN World. It'll be in the description down below. So yeah, Sri Lanka's Prime Minister Ranil on Saturday said he was willing to resign and make way for an all-party government to take over. Shortly after protesters reportedly breached his official residence in Colombo during demonstrations over the country's worsening economic crisis. To ensure the continuation of the government, including the safety of all citizens, I accept the best recommendation of the party today to make way for an all-party government, Ranil wrote on Twitter. To facilitate this, I will resign as Prime Minister. His statement came after a meeting of party leaders held by Sri Lanka's parliament. Speaker agreed to ask both the president and the prime minister resign per an overwhelming request. Sri Lankan lawmaker Rauf Hakim tweeted on Saturday. Ranil has not yet submitted his letter of resignation to President and Gotabaya Rajapaksa. Sri Lanka's Speaker of Parliament Mahinda Yapa says President Rajapaksa has informed him he will resign on July 13th, the Speaker's office announced on late Saturday. The announcement comes after the Speaker has asked the President to resign following a meeting of party leaders. Anger reached unprecedented levels in the South Asian nation of 22 million on Saturday, as more than 100,000 people massed outside Ranil's Gotaya's residence calling for his resignation. Video broadcast on Sri Lanka television and on social media shows the protesters entering the president's house, his office, and residence in the commercial capital after breaking through security cordons paced by police. Images show demonstrations inside the building and hanging banners from the balcony, as well as swimming in the residence's pool. So yeah, this is inside their house, and obviously there are many pictures. There are lots of protests going on, and this is the pool, and people are swimming inside it. Nice. So yeah, Rajapaksa is not at the site and has moved elsewhere. Obviously, security officials told CNN it is unclear how many security personnel are present at the location. Protesters then breached each Ranil's office residence in Colombo, known as Temple Trees, according to local media reports, while video of protesters entering gates to Ranil's residence circulated on social media on Saturday. Demonstrators also broke into Ranil's private residence on Fifth Lane and set it to on fire, according to his office. Live video streamed by local media and seen by CNN shows the residents engulfed in flames as crowds gathered at the scene. Ranil was not there at the time as it was breached. Once again, no shock. He has been moved earlier to a secure location, his office said. If both Ranil and Rajapaksa resign under the Sri Lankan constitution, the member of parliament will serve as an actor. The Speaker of Parliament will serve as acting president for a maximum of 30 days. Meanwhile, Parliament will elect a new president within 30 days from one of its members who will hold the office for the remaining 2 years of the current term. It is unclear how many security personnel are at the Sri Lankan leader's official residence, where almost 100,000 amassed outside. At least 55 people have been injured in the protests, according to Dr. Pushpa with the National Hospital of Sri Lanka, who said the figure included 3 people with gunshot wounds. Among those injured is a lawmaker from eastern Sri Lanka, she added. Earlier Saturday, Rendell called an emergency meeting of party leaders to discuss the current situation and to come to a resolution, his office said. He also asked the Speaker of Parliament to summon MPs. Sri Lanka is suffering its worst financial crisis in recent history, leaving millions struggling to buy food, medicine, and fuel. A police curfew that was earlier imposed in several police divisions in the western province of Sri Lanka was lifted on Saturday. Several politicians and the Bar Association in Sri Lanka referred to the curfew as being illegal, saying there had been no instances of violence justify imposing the measure. In a statement on Saturday, the Bar Association called on Rajapaksa to consider whether he can continue in light of the protesters storming the president's house. It also urged the government and MPs to immediately ensure that political stability of the nation is secured forthwith. There should be no delay in ensuring such transition. Tens of thousands have taken to the streets in recent months, calling for the country's leader to resign over accusations of economic mismanagement. In several major cities, including Colombo, hundreds are forced to queue for hours to buy fuel, sometimes clashing with police and the military as they wait. On Saturday, crowds of an anti-government demonstrators protested outside a stadium in Sri Lanka's southern coastal city of Galle during the country's test cricket match against Australia. The world's number 1 ranked team, through the protest, didn't stop the play. Local media shows videos of large crowds protesting against the government outside the Galle International Stadium, which is about a 2-hour drive from Colombo. They waved Sri Lankan flags and carried banners with signs reading "Power to the people" and "Go to go home," demanding Rajapaksa step down. Many protesters then defied a police ban and to march at the top of a fort overlooking the stadium grounds, where they continued to hold banners and chant their demands. Meanwhile, images from Colombo painted a chaotic scene with pictures showing demonstrators running from tear gas and clashing with police in body armor. Schools have been suspended and fuel has been limited to essential services. Patients are unable to travel to hospitals due to the fuel shortage, and food prices are soaring. Trains have reduced in frequency, forcing travelers to squeeze into compartments and even sit precariously on top of them as they commute to work. Ranil said that the country has entered talks with the International Monetary Fund, or the IMF, to revive the country's economy. On Tuesday, he told the parliament that talks with the IMF were difficult as they entered the situation as a bankrupt country rather than a developing one. So I don't think the IMF might be fully able to revive the country's economy. I think this has to be a full reset, which is going to be extremely hard for a country with 20 million population. But damn, it is horrible. It is horrible, and I don't see any kind of real solution to this. That's why I haven't been talking much about this. But it's just a really sad state that is going on in Sri Lanka, and I hope for the best. And let's see what the government takes, because Ranil, I think, is definitely resigning. I think. I don't see any kind of other solution to calm the people down other than Mr. Gotaya also resigning. But even after resigning as prime minister, the person who has to fill the spot has a lot of cleanup work to do. And let's see what we have. We can do nothing but just wait and see what happens and what holds the Sri Lankan people in their future. So yeah, once again, article by CNN World. It'll be down in the description. And yeah, let's move on to our another topic. Did I accidentally close that? So next, uh, Indian court grants bail to Mohammed Zubair, but he still has to face detention. So let me just drink water. My camera is not straight. For fuck's sake, not this again. That is too much. Okay, that's straight enough. So our next topic, we actually did cover this on the Aero show, and I will link the episode along with the timestamps of on where I discussed this. But Muhammad Zubair, owner of Alt News, was arrested for making like anti-religion tweets, and we have an update to that. The Indian court grants bail to Muhammad Zubair, but he still has to face detention. So yeah, article by Reuters, and so we just talked about what the hell. We just talked about how this is a big blow to journalism and how the ruling party in India is cracking down on any form of criticism against them. And we mainly talked about criticism versus hate speech and all of that. So yeah, India's top court granted bail on Friday to a Muslim journalist accusing of insulting Hindu religion leaders on Twitter after his arrest last month raised concern over media freedom. But Mohammed Zubair, who co-founded fact-checking website Alt News and regularly tweets on the increasing marginalization of India's Muslim minority, will remain in police custody filed due to another complaint filed in New Delhi. A complaint filed in June in the Sitapur district of northern state of Uttar Pradesh alleged that Zubair had hurt religious sentiments by describing a group of Hindu religious leaders as hate mongers, according to a court document. Ruling on Sitapur complaint, a two-judge bench of the Supreme Court granted Zubair 5 days of bail, but also ordered him to refrain from tweeting and tampering with any electronic evidence. Zubair was initially arrested based on a complaint from a Twitter account that said he insulted Hindus in a 2018 post, commenting on the renaming of a hotel after the Hindu monkey god Hanuman. Human rights groups say that the Indian authorities are increasingly picking on journalists and online critics, a charge that the government officials deny. So it's a pretty short story, but I just want to talk about how this is still a big deal in terms of how someone from a minority, I'm not saying that Muslims are in a minority, it's just what is written here, that is what I am saying. Where is it? For fuck's sake, did I just pull that out of my... Oh no, it's up. Yeah, so my point is how does this affect journalism in India? Because if you look at why this dude was arrested, it seems like basically he tweeted something in 2018. Where is it? insulting Hindus on the renaming of a hotel after the Hindu monkey god. Now, obviously, like I'm sure many of us in modern day wouldn't really tweet something about this, and maybe some very vocal journalists will probably tweet about it. And especially on the renaming of a hotel, I don't think many like Muslim extremist journalists should even care about. Like this is such a small thing, but that really shouldn't have escalated to this much of a level. And the fact that it was from 2018 just goes to show like how stupid this entire thing is. It's 4 years ago, and it's a comment on the renaming of a hotel that caused this much chaos. What do you mean I've reached my free article limit? I've registered. 1 second, I'll be right back. Let me just register. Where is it? Where is that post that he made? Okay, I can't find the post, but uh, basically my point is whatever he was arrested for got blown so out of proportion. And I'm not saying this to downplay what happened. I'm just saying that this entire thing happened for absolutely no reason. It was from 2018, and I'm not saying that hey, you should not insulting any form of god should not should not be taken seriously. That's not what I am saying. Obviously it is up to the government and the laws there, and I don't and personally I wouldn't do something like this regardless of which god it is, which religion it is. It's not something that I am going to do. I'm just saying that for a post made in 2018 that was commenting on the renaming of a hotel shouldn't be faced with criminal charges. Obviously it's insulting, and it was Mohammed Zubair obviously has some kind of fault to this. One, fault for insulting, and second, commenting on a renaming of a hotel. Like seriously, why? So yeah, I just this just got blown so out of proportion, and it's now become a whole like the censorship versus criticism kind of thing. And to be honest, both sides at our fault here. Obviously, the government taking this so seriously for a comment on a renaming of a hotel, calling it an act against the religion, or some kind of other bullshit narrative that they're spreading. but they're not just at fault. It's the journalism side as well. I'm not saying that hey, you shouldn't talk about this. I'm just saying hey, don't take it too far. Regardless of what the religion has done to you, never take it too far. Like I'm not here to spread any kind of like narrative that hey, Hindus have basically ruined us, and it is your choice us if you want to come to that conclusion. I'm not here to make my choice. I'm just here to say that stuff shouldn't be taken this out of proportion, but stuff shouldn't be this high of like I don't think stuff should be taken too far. So yeah, basically what I am trying to say is don't this shouldn't have been taken that seriously by the Indian government, but also he shouldn't have tweeted this. And whose side you are on, it's your choice. Personally, I am still on the side of this is not supposed to be taken seriously. But Muhammad Zubair and pretty much everyone who does stuff like this are partially responsible because they are the ones who caused it. So yeah, well, that's just my point, my opinion, and once again, article by Reuters will be in the description down below. I just want to clarify once again, I do not support any form of insulting to any god, regardless of whatever religion it is. If you don't like it, don't. If you don't like that religion, or if you don't like that god, don't talk about it. You are saving yourself a bunch of headache and potentially even some kind of harm against you. That's why I'm trying to be as careful as possible with what I am saying. So yeah, there's that. Now on to the world news section, and this just happened just almost 12 hours ago. News came in that the former prime minister of Japan, Shinzo Abe, unfortunately was assassinated while he was giving a speech after a campaign speech in Nara, Japan. So this was a pretty much shock to the entire world. It was trending number one on Twitter. Lots of people were talking about it. Lots of big political leaders were giving their statements on it. And so yeah, the entire country of Japan is still mourning his death, and I am also I wouldn't say I am also, I'm just saying I think rest in peace. So yeah, where is this? Oh, we're not in the catch up section. So yeah, former Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe, died after being shot on the street of the city of Nara on Friday. A shocking act of violence in a country where one of the world's lowest rates of gun crime. Yeah, I think Japan has the lowest rates of gun crime. They reported one gun death in the entire year of 2021, which I find is complete bullshit, but it's not surprising because Japan has the lowest history of crime. I am right. Obviously, it's not just one. There are obviously unreported deaths that do happen in Japan, but I do kind of believe it being in single digits or very very low double digits, like maybe between 1 to 30, but maybe not 1, but still 30 people dying in 1 year due to I can't speak due to weapon related death in a country of over 100 million people. That is incredible, and that's why people say Japan is the safest country. So yeah, the video of the assassinated former leader was seen in the car leaving the Nara Medical University Hospital in Nara Prefecture on Saturday morning. Aki Abe is traveling with her husband's body back to Tokyo, where the family resides, according to public broadcaster NHK. Abe was shot at about 11:30 a.m. local time Friday in Nara, east of Osaka, Japan. He gave an election campaign speech on the street. Video aired by public broadcaster NHK captured the moments before the shooting, showing Abe speaking to a small crowd in the front of Yamato Saidachi railway station. So yeah, it's common in a railway station for campaigns to be held near the railway station, especially at commute times, so that they maximize the amount of people hearing it. So yeah, in subsequent videos, two shots can be heard and smoke can be seen in the air. Abe was rushed to the hospital via helicopter at 12:20 p.m. local time. That was an hour. That was almost an hour ago, but whatever. He went to cardiopulmonary arrest, a term used to describe the sudden loss of heart functioning and in breathing at the time of the shooting, and arrived at the hospital in a state of cardiac arrest. According to doctors at Nara Medical University, during surgery, doctors discovered a gunshot wound to his neck and a large wound on his heart. Confirmed dead. Abe was confirmed dead from excessive bleeding and was pronounced dead at 5:03 p.m. local time. Doctors at the Nara Medical University Hospital said the bullet that killed the former Japanese leader was deep enough to reach his heart, and a team of 20 medical and professionals were unable to stop the bleeding. The suspect. Police arrested unemployment man who admitted to shooting Abe. According to police, Yagi said he holds hatred towards a certain group which he thought Abe was linked to. He used a homemade gun in the shooting, and authorities confiscated several handguns, handmade pistol-like items from his apartment. Yagi is being investigated as a suspect in a murder case to which 90 investigators have been assigned. Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida paid his deepest condolences to former leader Abe, saying that he was a personal friend with whom he spent a lot of time. Kishida said he had a great respect for the legacy he left behind, the legacy Abe left behind, and would continue election campaigning on Saturday, adding a free and fair election must be defended at all costs. News of the shooting and Abe's subsequent and horrified leaders around the world, many of whom have worked with Abe during his long tenure. U.S. President Joe Biden said he was stunned, outraged, and deeply saddened, adding that he had worked closely with Abe and his killing was a tragedy for Japan, who all knew him. Okay, I'm back. So, what I was saying was, okay, there we go. That's readable. So yeah, for a country of 125 million people, 9 died from firearms. That is incredible. That just shows how strict gun ownership laws are there, which is just incredible compared to 39,740. So if we ignore the fact that U.S. has 3 times the population, that is still 13,000 versus 9. That, ladies and gentlemen, is a 104. Wait, no. 13. Which is a 1,444% higher death, gun-related death. 144,000. 1,444. I misread that. 1,444. That is incredible. That is honestly incredible. So yeah, under Japan's firearm laws, with the only guns permitted for sale are shotguns or air rifles. Handguns are outlawed, but getting them aim is a long and complicated process that requires strenuous effort and lots of patience. The laws and through process of background checks have kept the number of private gun owners in Japan extremely low. So yeah, there is a funeral that's going to be set obviously. The funeral for Abe will be held over Monday and Tuesday, which is day after tomorrow, at the time of streaming. So yeah, his office told CNN. With the wake will be held on Monday, followed by a memorial service on Tuesday. The funeral will be hosted by his widow Aki Abe in a temple in Tokyo. Japan's public broadcaster NHK reported. Police will review security. Japan's National Police Agency said it will review security arrangements put in place before Friday's shooting, according to NHK. Security was being handled by Nara Prefecture police, which drew up a security plan for the former prime minister while he was still in the city. Now, assuming that this dude is like the criminal here, didn't put a ton of effort into like making it concealable, I think a homemade gun will be a lot more noticeable. Especially, I mean, they say it was, in a small area, so I think someone would be carrying like a firearm, especially since like homemade firearms are pretty big and bulky compared to shot ones. I mean, I could be wrong. It could be a small pistol, and I don't know. But usually, I think a homemade firearm would be more noticeable. I mean, way more noticeable than a real firearm. However, I don't know. It could be the exact opposite. But I don't think. I don't think there was enough security at this place, and there shouldn't be. Once again, the crime rate in Japan is way lower, and people take that for granted. But actually, no, it is extremely safe. And if I had, the financial ability to move to Japan, I would move, not in a heartbeat, but I would think about it and see if there are any better places, like maybe in the EU or maybe Canada or maybe one of the UAE countries. But yeah, Nara Prefectural Police Chief Tomoyaki Onizuka said he can't deny there were problems with Abe's security. In a press conference on Saturday, he said that authorities are looking into what went wrong in the lead up to the former prime minister being shot. He added that he takes responsibility for the security failure that resulted in his killing. So yeah, homemade gun. The suspect in Abe's assassination said the weapon he used was homemade. Naranishi police told a news conference on Friday. The suspect, who was 41 years old, admitted to shooting Abe. Police said Yamagami, the suspect who is unemployed, told investigators he holds hatred towards a certain group that he thought Abe was linked to. Police have not named the group. So this is once again related to terrorism. Interesting. Yamagami made the suspect made multiple types of guns with iron pipes that were wrapped in adhesive tape. Adhesive tape is white. How do you not see, adhesive tape even in a small, like, gathering? So yeah, we cannot deny that there were no security flaws here, and I think they underestimated, and they have absolutely no reason to not underestimate it. It is really safe in Japan. Like, one thing that I noticed about Japan is that packages are very delivery packages can actually be left outside because it's so safe. Like basically no one steals. Crime rate in Japan is very low, and for something like this to happen to a someone who was in power is obviously very surprising and very shocking to the whole world. The police found guns with 3, 5, and 6 iron pipes as barrels. The suspect inserted bullets into the pipe of his homemade gun, parts of which he's purchased online, and it's reported, cited police. Police believe the suspect used the strongest weapon he made in the assassination, and HK added, no shit, he didn't. So yeah, elections to take place on Sunday. Japanese voters will go to the polls on Sunday, despite the assassination of Abe just 2 days before the elections were due to be held. At the time of the shooting, Abe was speaking in support of the ruling Liberal Democratic Party (LDP) candidates ahead of the election. And that is the end of this article. Once again, huge, shocking news, and Japan had no reason for this to be expected, and it still just goes to show how important security is, even in a country like Japan. And once again, rest in peace. My condolences go out to the family and the people of Japan. And yeah, article by CNN World. It'll be down in the description for you to read or share. So on to our different topic, which the topic of break, because I am very, very tired. I'm kidding. I just need to go and fill my water bottle, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So I'm just gonna take a 5 minute break because I'm kind of tired. I mean, today's been a long day. I mean, I traveled to the other side of the city and came back because I had stuff to do. Okay, so let's just talk about random stuff. I mean, I discovered something pretty cool. Like, so what I found was if I close everything. So what I found out was, so you know how you can, press the Windows key and go to the left or the right, or press up to go into full screen? Well, I found out that if you press Windows and Shift, you can transfer it to the other monitor. So it's on my other monitor right now, and it's on my other top monitor, and now it's here. And I don't know, pretty cool, I guess, but I don't know. I found that kind of amusing. So how many articles do we have left? So we finished that one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 13. Okay. So 13 more, and we have some pretty big ones. That I think this was the second biggest, and obviously the biggest one is this one, which we'll get into a little bit later. Which is honestly, like, if you saw this coming, you are either dumb or you're trolling. I mean, if you didn't see this coming, you are dumb or you're trolling. I should clarify that. Okay. So let's talk about like how else I want to like improve this. I mean, obviously, I'm gonna get some kind of third-party tool to make this my background instead of a full screen app, so that I can have stuff over it. And I think I can just do that. If I just do that, and if I go into settings, Okay, nothing there. App commands, no. How do I make a window always on top? Control plus spacebar. No. Okay, well I'm too dumb to figure it out, but I can leave if I can leave it in. Oh, I can leave it in non-full screen mode and it will not cover. Something like that. Okay, I'll figure it out, but I'm slowly trying to improve the quality of my live streams, improving how I talk, improving in the types of stories I get, how I narrate those stories, and trying to provide as much context as possible. Just increasing the production quality of this. So yeah, let's move on to our next article. And also, I've been thinking, like, what if I just leave it like that? Like, the story is always going to be on the right and the time is always going to be there. Actually, no, that's kind of stupid. Alright. Anyway, we're done with, we're done with the world news. Time to move on with to the Russia versus Ukraine war news. So I didn't do a topic on this last time because I'm dumb. And that's not what I meant to search. So yeah, U.S. planning to send another $400 million in military aid to Ukraine. So last time we covered this, we covered about how they're planning to send over $1 billion in aid to Ukraine. Now they're selling 400 million worth of military stuff to Ukraine. Let me just increase the exposure. There we go. So, articles by ABC News. It'll be in the description down below. Can I increase this even more? There we go. Oh, fuck off. What the hell? Okay. This is why I sometimes hate these sites, but okay, anyway. The Biden administration said on Friday that they will send another 400 million US dollars in military equipment to Ukraine, including 4 more advanced rocket systems. The weapons, said a senior defense official, will bolster Ukrainian efforts to strike deeper behind Russian front lines in the eastern Donbass region. The aid comes as Moscow this week claimed full control of Ukraine's Luhansk province in the Donbass region, but Ukrainian officials say their troops still control a small part of the province and fierce fighting continues in several villages. The defense official system said that the 8 high mobility artillery rocket systems, or HIMARS, were previously sent and are still being used by Ukrainian forces in the fight. This will give them 4 more to help hit Russian command and the control nodes, the logistic capabilities, and other systems that are further back behind the battlefront. A senior military official said at least 100 Ukrainian troops have been trained on the HIMARS. Both officials spoke on condition of anonymity to discuss the details not yet made public, which is good. And I don't think a lot of this should be made public, just as not only for confidentiality and just not giving any form of advantage to the other side. Russia in recent days has launched dozens of missiles across Ukraine and pinned down Ukrainian forces with continuous long-range fire for sometimes hours at a time. The U.S. military official said that 10 to 15 Russian battalion tactical groups are in the Donbas region, but that Russia has sustained significant losses in the recent fighting and may have to pause or reorganize and reset equipment. There are between 800 to 1,000 troops in a battalion tactical group. Ukraine's leaders have publicly called on Western allies to quickly send more ammunition and advanced systems that will help them narrow the gap in equipment and manpower. The precision weapons can and help Ukraine hit Russian weapons that are farther away and are being used to bombard Ukrainian locations. The latest aid approved by President Joe Biden on Friday afternoon is the 15th package of the military, I can't speak, military and equipment transferred to Ukraine from Defense Department stock since the last of August. In addition to the HIMARS, the U.S. will also send 1,000 rounds of 155mm artillery, which has an increased precision capability that will also help Ukraine hit specific targets. The package will also include 3 other tactical vehicles, counter battery radar systems, spare parts, and other equipment. Acting Pentagon press secretary told Brussels and said the assistance will meet critical needs for Ukraine's fight. Looking ahead to the coming months, the defense official said that a key goal is to build up Ukraine's logistics and repair capabilities so that troops can maintain its weapon systems and continue the fight into the future. Overall, the U.S. has spent about $7.3 billion in aid to Ukraine since the war began in late February. Luhansk is one of the 2 provinces that make up the Donbas, a region of mines and factories where pro-Moscow separatists have fought Ukraine's army for 8 years and declared independent republics that Russian President Vladimir Putin recognized before he sent troops into Ukraine. Putin has said Putin warned on Thursday that Kyiv should accept Moscow's terms or brace for the worst, saying that Russia hasn't yet started anything in earnest. U.S. and other Western officials have said that Russia has been making slow, incremental progress in the Donbass region, but has not made gains as rapidly as Moscow's initially intended. Biden has said that the U.S. is giving Ukrainians the aid needed to continue to resist Russian aggression. I don't know how it's going to end, but it will not end with the Russian defeat of Ukraine in Ukraine. Wait, it'll not end with a Ukrainian defeat in Ukraine. What the hell is... I think this is badly worded, but I think it says I don't know how it's not going to end, but it will not end with Russia defeating Ukraine in Ukraine. So yeah, that's a story, and once again it'll be in the description down below. And moving on to our second topic, Russian McDonald's stops serving fries due to potato shortage. So we have since McDonald's got basically stopped all of their business in Russia. To add some kind of fast food service in Russia, the Russian government has started their own restaurant chain that is based somewhat closely on the McDonald's brand. This is not related, it is just a quote-unquote copy. Something other than once the article is by Daily Mail, it'll be in the description down below. So something other than fries is with that. Russia's McDonald's replacement Tasty and That's It stopped serving chips due to potato shortage days after customers complained. Oh, fuck off. Okay, there we go. Days after customers complained of moldy burgers. Russia's replacement of McDonald's already running out of French fries. The new company blamed it on a poor Russian potato harvest in 2021. Russian Agriculture Ministry and said Russia is fully supplied with potatoes. Earlier this month, the chain was caught serving moldy burgers to customers. Russian's McDonald's replacement is running low on the basic staple of French fries and will not be forced to temporarily stop serving them. Will you fuck off? Okay. The oh god. Vikunso i tochka. That fast food chain, which translates as tasty as that's it, has made a statement to Russian news agency TASS explaining that a poor 2021 potato harvest has hit their ability to serve a variety of fries with their burgers. The company expects to return to a normal menu by the autumn, they said, but the issue comes mere days after customers posted pictures to social media about burger buns covered in mold. Vikunsi Tochka came into existence when McDonald's Corporation pulled out of Russia in protest of the country's invasion of Ukraine and sold its franchises to a Russian businessman in June. The new business reopened on June 12th with a rebranded menu and new staff uniforms and flocks of people queuing around the corner of Pushkin Square in Moscow city center. The McDonald's replacement fast food chain in Russia, Vikunsu i Tochka, which translates as tasty and that's it, is running low on the basic staple of French fries and be forced to temporarily stop serving them. So yeah, there's that. I'll not elaborate on this further, but you can basically get the point. McDonald's stopped their business in Russia, sold it to some random dude. That guy starts his own brand called Tasty, and that's it. And now they cannot sell. They're being forced to stop selling potato fries due to a shortage. So yeah, once again, article by Daily Mail. If you want to read this, it'll be in the description down below. Oh, and that is it with the Russia-Ukrainian war news. Next, we have the economy news, which is I forgot what I wanted to talk about. Fuck. Wait, fuck. I forgot what I wanted to talk about. So, okay, no. I didn't forget. So basically, okay, so basically, I was seeing this article, and I thought it was pretty interesting, and I wanted to read it to y'all, and wanted to know what is your opinion on this. But first, I accidentally put something that was supposed to go in the business news that goes here. So I was reading this article about bear market investing, and it's pretty cool. Pretty cool. It just talks about how this can help you for an early retirement. And of course, I closed Chrome like a fucking idiot. Come on, open. Okay, so this article is by the New York Times. So yeah, start investing early and stick with it, especially when you don't increase the exposure. Oh, will you actually go away? Come on. Okay, meanwhile, let me increase the exposure. Okay, I think that's perfect. You agree? No. Don't press agree to any of these. You are basically ruining your life. Even though I don't care about this email, I still don't want to get bombarded with some stupid shit. No thanks. Maybe later. Okay. So, start investing early and stick with it, especially when stocks fall. A bear market can be great for your future wealth if you... Oh my... Fuck off! Okay. A bear market can be great for your future wealth if you use broad, low-cost funds to buy stocks and bonds steadily for decades, our columnist says. This article is by New York Times and will be in the description down below. I wouldn't wish this bear market on anyone. as a lot of people have been losing a lot of money, not just billionaires, but ordinarily working people who have been salting away savings for years. It will be even worse for those who lose their jobs in a recession, which could easily happen as the Federal Reserve tries to wring inflation out of the economy. This is, in short, a rough moment for the economy and the markets, and may seem to be at the wrong time to put fresh money into the stock market. Yet, that is exactly what I am suggesting, not just for people like me who have become accustomed to just buying shares over steadily over the years, but for those who are just starting out and are most likely and are likely to have decades of investing ahead of them. In fact, when you are young, investing during a bear market can be great for your future wealth and perhaps your eventual retirement. So, yeah, it does make sense to start investing early in a kind of not yet mature market for like basically stuff like cryptocurrencies, which obviously will grow a lot in the future. Right now, it's still being treated as something new and has not been taken seriously by already people who are in like well fitted into this investing market. So stuff like that, and obviously there are going to be different companies that arise and different companies is that will fall, and knowing, well, having like, I'm not trying to say that, hey, basically, like, there are going to be losses and they're going to be like, they're not going to be highs and they're going to be lows. I'm just saying it just depends on what the future holds for us, and always it's going to be something different, and we are supposed to be prepared for that. Once again, this is not financial advice, even though it is, but you're not going to consider this as financial advice. So yeah, this may seem counterintuitive, but the logic is simple. Buying low and selling high is the core of a successful investing. If you invest when stock prices are falling, yet have considerable time for a rebound, you are likely to prosper. What's more, if you don't do this repeatedly over any market cycles, the benefit of compound returns will kick in. You'll be earning money on top of the gains of previous years. Invest this way and you can accumulate a remarkable nest egg. My last column proposed steps for getting started in a time like this. Pay your bills first and set aside enough money for an emergency before putting any money at risk. Now, I'm pretty sure this is common sense. Like, I'm not trying to, downplay people who don't know this, but I have always recommended this. Make sure you have no unclear dues before you, put money at risk. And always set aside money for emergencies before putting money away at risk. That is also a really good thing to do. Have a set like, if you have the ability to create multiple bank accounts, I'd say create one savings account that you barely touch and create one active account. And in that savings account, make sure there is as much to like cover a emergency, like, let's say an health emergency, god forbid you have to go through that, and you might be able to cover it without taking a loan or borrowing money. Now, whether how much you want to put into this emergency kind of money is still your choice. I would personally put enough that will, like, let's say something goes wrong and I am able to at least cover half of it based on the stuff that can go wrong, like in my life. Like, let's say, you know, I wouldn't say something like a fire could go wrong. But once again, I don't want to jinx it and knock on wood, but something that I might be able to cover for someone else, that much amount of money I would have saved, just so that if anything goes wrong, it doesn't go as wrong as possible. So yeah, this is a really good tip, and I really hope everyone follows this. So yeah, second point: buy stocks and when it's right for you. Bonds using cheap, diversified index funds that track the entire market. So index funds are, you can actually Google it, but index funds are basically funds like they're I forgot how to say it. They're, a portfolio of stocks. Yeah, this explains it best. I was trying to say like a list of stocks, but no, a portfolio of stocks that's designed to mimic the composition and performance of a financial market index. So yeah, buy stock. Obviously buy stocks, but not when they're falling, but when they've kind of settled. I mean, not when they've kind of settled, but buy it at a point where you see it's going up. Like you see how a graph. Let me just draw this. Once again, this is not financial advice. You're not supposed to take this as financial advice. Please don't. I'm just trying to like verify how I would invest if this stupid thing wants to even load. Why is this not loading? Okay. So this is your graph, all right? Okay, let's draw it a little bit better. So the best form of prediction is right here. Not right here or not right here. Because at this point it could stagnate and then go down, resulting in a loss. But if you are too late, it can go here and you won't have not much of a profit. So my point is, you should invest at a time that does not. I hate this stupid thing. So my point. So what I was saying was, you should invest at a point where you see that it's going up. Like if it's gone low and then if it starts going up. The best way to predict when this starts going up is if you start seeing news articles or coverage about whatever company this is. If this is Twitter and Elon Musk actually goes through with the deal of it after, thousands of attempts, threatened saying that, hey, he's going to drop it, that's more likely when the market is going to increase. And at that point, if you increase, you can maximize profits. That's just how I think it works. If you have any other kind of theory, you can leave it in the comment down below. So yeah, treat investing as a marathon with a 10-year horizon at a minimum and preferably with a much stronger goal. Now, I wouldn't say having a much stronger, having goals that you cannot achieve, that are very unlikely to achieve, but goals that are possible to reach based on how much you are willing to invest. So yeah, inevitably, my thumbnail summary omitted many things. Several readers suggested other issues that I'll address now in this ongoing guide to starting as an investor. Benefit from the market's ups and downs through what is known as dollar cost averaging. Dollar cost averaging, for you guys that don't know what it is it's an investment strategy in which an investor divides up the total amount to be invested across periodic purchases of a target asset in an effort to reduce the impact of volatility on the overall purchase. The purchases occur regardless of the asset's price and at regular intervals. So these intervals can be as long as what suits your needs. For example, a monthly I can't talk. A monthly interval is most preferred, I think. So yeah, take advantage of workplace retirement plans. So workplace retirement plans are basically like, if you guys know the term pension, where after you retire, the company that you work for pay, or maybe in some cases the government does pay you a specific amount per month that will help you survive. So yeah, then use target date funds, but only in tax sheltered accounts. I think that's pretty self-explanatory. And veteran investors, don't worry, I'll return to the issues preoccupying you in your future columns. So yeah, early prices decline help. Dollar cost averaging entails putting money into the market regardless of whether stocks and bonds rise or fall. Your average cost will drop during a bear market, and this will bolster your long-term returns. If you do this deliberately and understand the benefits of buying shares when they are cheap, you may be able to avoid the terrible feeling that other people have during market declines. So yeah, the state of the stock market. The stock market's decline this year has been painful, and it remains difficult. Oh no, wait, that is something else. So yeah, consider what would have happened if you had to started to invest in the first commercially viable stock index fund, the Vanguard 500 stock index fund in July 1980. You would have experienced a nasty bear market that began in November 1980 and lasted until mid-August 1982. The S&P 500 lost 27%, 27.1% in that stretch. You might have been able to tempted to sell all your shares and forget about stock investing entirely. But suppose you had stuck with it, not only through that bear market, but through the 6 others that followed over the next 40 years, including this one. According to FactSet, your initial investment would have grown 6,600% during reinvested dividends, and if you had funneled money from your paycheck into the market throughout those years and resisted the impulse to sell, your money would have grown splendidly. So yeah, this article goes down on, and it's a pretty good article. I do recommend reading it. And unfortunately, we are kind of running low on time. So if you want to read this, I will have it linked in the description down below, and you can check it out. It's a really good article and really good startup. Really good information on how to invest properly. So yeah, that is it with the economy news, and it is 12:42. Okay, let's take a quick water break if I can find my bottle. For fuck's sake, this happens every single time. You've gotta be fucking kidding me. Okay, I found it. I turned the lights off because since I'm not doing face cam anymore, there's no point keeping the lights on. Okay, so how many articles do we have pending? So we just finished that. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Alright, 10 more articles. Come on, let's power through this. We have an hour and we can go through this. Alright. So, on to our next category, which is the business news and arguably the big story of the day. Elon Musk ending his Twitter deal. Ending his deal. Obviously, I can't speak. Elon Musk ending his deal to buy Twitter for Twitter's failure to comply with obligations in its merger agreement. So we all know how basically everyone knew that no, this deal is not gonna go through. There is no way he sees Twitter is worth 44 billion US dollars. In no way. It's like barely. I would classify it as low 30s, high 20s, like 25 billion to 35 billion. No way it's worth $44 billion. And I am glad he noticed it, because what he just bought is the internet steaming pile of garbage. And we'll get into this, obviously, and we've all known, because this literally trends every single day. Every single day. Any tweet he makes, his comment section is like, oh, he could have used that $44 billion to end hunger or and some kind of world issue, but no. Well, I mean, I'm glad that he's terminated this deal, because obviously it's just a terrible, terrible deal in my opinion. So yeah, Elon Musk wants to end his $44 billion deal to buy Twitter. Elon's lawyers claim Twitter failed to comply with its obligations in the merger agreement. Twitter's board chair Brett Taylor said the company is still committed to closing the deal at the agreed upon price and plans to pursue legal action to enforce the agreement. Elon Musk wants to end his $44 billion deal to buy Twitter, according to a letter sent by a lawyer on his behalf to the company's chief legal officer on Friday. But Twitter's board chair Brett Taylor said the company is still committed to closing the deal at the agreed upon price and plans to pursue legal action to enforce the agreement. So Brett Taylor, CFO, I think, CFO of Twitter, the Twitter board is committed to closing the transaction and on the price and terms agreed upon with Elon and his plans to pursue legal action to enforce the merger agreement. We are confident we will prevail in the Delaware Court of Chancery. This was tweeted on June 9th. Today is June. Okay, so just almost 24 hours ago. We are confident we will prevail in the Delaware Court of Chancery, Taylor wrote. Twitter shares were down about 6% after hours on Friday. In this deal disclosed as in a Securities and Exchange Commission filing, Skadden Arp's attorney Mike Ringler said that Twitter has not complied with its contractual obligations. Ringler claimed that Twitter did not provide Musk with relevant business information he requested, as Ringler said the contract would acquire. Musk has previously said he wanted to assess Twitter's claims that about 5% of its monetizable daily active users are spam accounts. Now, it doesn't take a brain to know that if you're on Twitter, there is no way that only 5% of daily active Twitter users are spam accounts. Like, there is no way. There is such a big spam problem on Twitter about like just bots spamming just absolute garbage in almost every single tweet. There is no way that is 5%. I would bet that it is about 10 to 20%. There is no way that it is single digits, because almost every popular tweet there is some form of spam, either promoting. It's not just the spam just promoting some kind of garbage. It's replies to tweets of some kind of like cryptocurrency garbage that tag random people in, and I always get tagged into those kind of accounts. Like, they reply and they put, "Wow, check this out," and then they'll put like 50 ads there, and then almost every single time it's always been for some stupid like cryptocurrency project. And these tweets are not coming from real people. They are obviously fake. Like, they are just the name of some person, like for example Olivia, by like 6 random numbers. It's always like that, and it's always, they have very low followers, and sometimes all of their tweets are just like that before they get suspended. So that's the main problem that at least I've noticed. Many people have noticed different problems, like, wow, check this out, and they're spamming all sorts of stuff. So yeah, this is just like, there is no way. And people have said that, oh, it's not it's 5% of daily active users, and we rarely see daily active user not all the 95% of the daily active users comment. And since many of us do see replies to tweets, we see more of this. And while that more of these bots, and while that is true, still, even with that, what you could say is probably 9 or 10%, low tens, high like single digits, low double digits. Like, no way it's 5%. That's what I'm trying to say. So yeah, Twitter has failed or refused to provide this information, Ringler claimed. Sometimes Twitter has ignored Mr. Musk's request. Sometimes it has rejected them for reasons that appear to be unjustified, and sometimes it has claimed to comply with giving Elon incomplete or unusable information. Ringler also urged in the letter that Twitter breached the merger agreement because it allegedly contains materially inaccurate representations. This accusation is based on Elon's own preliminary review of spam accounts on Twitter platform. Twitter said it is not possible to calculate spam accounts. It's not possible to calculate spam accounts. Bitch, what? How is it not calculate? You just pick, let's say, for a company like yours, go through 5,000 of the top tweets every day, and you will find some form of spam almost in every single one of them. Now, obviously, like a big number like 5,000 with hundreds of thousands of replies will be impossible to go through. But even just going to 10 of them and finding one will give a 10% chance. Giving to 100 and finding 12 or 14 gives us a 14% chance. So there is absolutely no way that it is 5%. So yeah, Twitter said it's not possible to calculate spam accounts from solely public information, and that a team of experts conducted a review to reach a 5% figure. You have to not just consider one genre of Twitter users. Some people are on Twitter to talk about politics, some people are talking about cars, some people are talking about movies, some people are talking about video games, some people are talking about all of these, and some people are talking about nothing. You have to consider all of these people from all of these different places, from all of these different, groups talking about all these different topics. You have to consider all of that, and while Twitter does do that for their algorithm to work, for them to recommend you, content that actually relevant, there is still no way that I don't believe it's 5%. It's very, very, very low. So yeah, while this analysis remains ongoing, all indications suggest that several of Twitter's public disclosures regarding its MDAA use are either false or materially misleading, Ringler alleged. Despite public speculation on this point, Mr. Musk did not waive his right to review Twitter's data and information simply because he did not he chose not to seek this data and information right before entering into the merger agreement, Ringer said. In fact, he negotiated access and information rights with the merger agreement precisely so that he could review data and information that is important to Twitter's business before financing and completing the transaction. He also claimed Twitter breached its obligations under the agreement to get Elon's consent before changing its ordinary course of business, pointing to recent layoffs at the company. While Elon is now officially seeking to walk away from the deal, the saga is likely far from over. Oh, it is not far from over, not even close. Under the terms of the agreement, and Elon agrees to pay $1 billion if he backs out, but Twitter's board chair indicated that they would do the company can still seek to hold Elon to his original deal by suing him for walking away if they dispute that his reasoning should let him out of the contract. Twitter has a reason to seek to hold Elon and to his original terms. The stock has fallen considerably since the board announced it had accepted his offer to buy the company at $54.20 per share. On that day of the announcement, the stock ended the trading in day at $51.70 per share. Twitter's share sat at $36.81 as of Friday's market close. Elon is apparently paying attention to the stock price too, according to the letter, and is considering whether a company's declining business prospects and financial outlook constitute a company material adverse effect, giving Mr. Elon a separate and distinct basis for terminating the merger agreement. So yeah, whether this is justified, obviously, since both sides do have to agree to a contract, both of them signed consensually. So any of them backing out, obviously the other party has absolute right to take legal action against this because technically they are breaching the contract. And if Elon has a proper reason to back out of the deal, effectively both of them get cancelled, and Elon only has to pay what he said in the contract, that if he leaves, he only has to pay $1 billion. So if they cancel each other out, which might happen in the court, I don't know. Oh, this case has to be taken for court and has to be publicly disclosed before any form like opinion has to be taken place of mine. So yeah, interesting stuff. Big deal. Like lots of people are talking about this, and I just want to talk about how people are being surprised about this. No one saw this coming. Literally no one. Like no one expected Elon Musk to actually go through with this deal, because not only is this deal not going to pay off ever, it is actually going to ruin not only Twitter's reputation but Elon's reputation. And what Elon is trying to, like push the narrative that hey, he's going to make free speech better. And after he officially like announced that he's going to buy Twitter, nothing has changed. It's always been the same kind of freedom of speech that we have always had and we're always going to have. So this entire thing has been a waste of time for both sides. Like there is nothing of value was lost here, but too much time was given into it. That's just my opinion. Obviously, if Twitter decides. Hello? Okay, so I was on mute. So what I was saying was this entire thing was a waste of time, money, and energy for both sides and for everyone who supported this deal or was against it. It was also a waste of time for them. And I just want to say that whoever owns Twitter or in the future, even if they do go with this deal or even if they don't, I still hope that they keep the site fair to everyone, where you can come and freely express your opinion with certain limits. Obviously, I'm just talking about in terms of free speech and in terms of criticism. Like that's what Twitter is, and that's what Twitter should be. A place where you can come and criticize the failures of someone else, and not only criticize them and help them to make just everything better. It can be the government, it can be an online creator, it can be me, it can be you, it can be anyone. And that's what Twitter is supposed to be. Okay. So yeah, that's just my point. Once again, pretty big news, and honestly, if who didn't see this coming? Like, obviously, no one expected this deal to go through. Actually, not only is it a terrible deal, even for a person like Elon Musk, he sold tons of his stocks in Tesla and SpaceX to buy this, and to ultimately just scrap the entire thing and still have to pay $1 billion over that is just a waste of money and waste of time. And now, since he is so far committed, I actually do wish for him to continue with this deal and try to come to some form of agreement. So yeah, that's just my thoughts on this. Once again, article in the description, so if you want to read it or share it, it'll be down there. And yeah, it is 1 in the morning. My ears are paining for some reason. Did I put my headphones on wrong? Okay, there we go. Oh, for fuck's sake, where is my bottle? There we go. Okay, I put it in barely of line of sight. Okay, so we have what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 more um articles, and we're just gonna rush to the next few ones because we have to cover this within an hour, and I'm already getting tired. So yeah, our next topic: 4 recalls over 100,000 United States vehicles for a fire risk. Yes, recalling cars is a thing now for some reason. Like, we thought that thing just stuck to phones, but hell no, it comes to big, expensive cars that can actually cause a lot of damage if stuff goes wrong. But anyway, let me just increase the exposure. Okay, so July 8th. So what is today's date? July 10th. So what I was saying was, Ford Motor said on Friday that it is issuing a new recall for over 100,000 and hybrid vehicles over fire risk. So hybrids are, I think what this means are, hybrids like uh, a gas powered car and a electric car. So yeah, and explaining, where was I? And explaining an earlier recall after a series of reported fires. The new recall covers certain 2020 to 2022 modern years Ford Escape, Maverick, and Lincoln Corsair vehicles with 2.5-liter hybrid plug-in hybrid engines. Ford said in the event of an engine failure, significant quantities of engine oil and fuel vapor may be released that could accumulate near ignition sources, resulting in potential underhood fire, which is not a selling point of a car, in my opinion. But anyway, dealers will modify the under engine shield and active grille shutter to address safety concerns. There were no accidents or injuries associated with this issue, and customers do not need to park the vehicle outside, thank god. Ford is separately explaining its recall for the 2021 Ford Expedition and Lincoln Navigator SUVs for under-the-hood fire risk by another 27,000 U.S. vehicles after 5 additional fires were reported after its recall of 39,000 vehicles announced in May following 16 fire reports. 1 injury has been reported. So pretty lucky that only 1 injury has been reported. Obviously, there might be injuries that have been unreported, and we have to consider that. And Yeah, lots of recalls are going on. So yeah, the number two U.S. automaker is still advising customers to park those vehicles outside and away from structures until repairs are completed. Vehicles may pose a risk of underhood fire, including when the vehicle is parked and switched off. Ford said it has recall parts available for about one third of vehicles with an 800-watt cooling fan system, but will not have all parts available for vehicles with a 700-watt cooling fan system until September. Ford believes the cause of these vehicle fires can be traced to a change in manufacturing location by a supplier during the COVID-19 pandemic. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, everything comes down to the COVID-19 pandemic at some point or another. Mark my words, everything is caused by the pandemic. Ford has led all U.S. automakers so far in 2022 with 44 recall campaigns covering 6.7 million vehicles before Friday's announcement. So yeah, pretty interesting. And make sure to, if you have a Ford vehicle that is one of these vehicles that you've seen here, make sure to give your dealership a call and to see what they say. As far as parking it outside, that is I wouldn't say it's recommended in like like really hot areas, is because that already is a risk in itself, but it is a far less risk than parking it inside and for a fire to start inside your own house. So yeah, make sure to follow all their guidelines and try to be safe as much as possible. So yeah, articles by Ruler, it'll be down in the description down below. And our next news is, I think, the second biggest news topic of the day. Canada hit by the massive mobile and internet outage. So Rogers did a bit of a whoopsie daisies and accidentally not accidentally, somehow managed to like cut the entire, like, I can't speak. Yeah, Canada's largest mobile and AL. Oh, for fuck off. Okay, India's largest mobile and internet provider has suffered a major outage with banks, ATMs, and emergency service hotlines affected. Government operations have also been hit by the Rogers communications issue. The company says it is working rapidly to resolve this nationwide problem. We know how important it is for our customers to stay connected, the company said in a statement. It is not known what has caused the outage, but it is the second one in 15 months. So almost this is almost becoming a yearly thing, and every 15 months, the second one in 15 months, that is not good for something as big as Rogers. I think there are almost over 1 billion devices that have been registered to a Rogers network, and that is a rough estimate. It might actually be really low, but and I have no idea. But anyway, it began around 430 ET, which is a 8:30 GMT. Internet traffic had dropped to around 75% of its normal level by Friday morning, according to NetBlocks, an internet watchdog organization. Rogers is the only mobile carrier of nearly 11 million Canadians with a stake in everything from hockey to cable television. So maybe I might be wrong about the 1 billion, but 11 million Canadians, it seems like a pretty reasonable estimate. Toronto's police department tweeted that some mobile phone users were having trouble calling the emergency services despite it remaining fully operational. If the call connects, please stay on the call as long as possible, the force wrote, adding that people who cannot connect should call back. Police in Ottawa tweeted, if your call fails, please try again or call from a landline or cell phone with another provider. The outages have also hit passport offices, courthouses, and transit payment services. On-call medical employees for the Scarborough Health Network, which operates hospitals in Toronto, has been asked to come into work until the issue is resolved. In the Quebec province, a Montreal court delayed a trial hearing for the disgraced fashion in mogul Peter Nygaard after jail officials were unable to connect with him to a video conference system. Don't you have Wi-Fi for that? Or, okay, maybe Wi-Fi is also powered by Rogers and that also got cut off, which, nice. In urban areas, people have flocked to cafes and places with functioning Wi-Fi. There are tons of people here with their laptops just working away ferociously, the same as they would do at home because they've got no service at home. One Starbucks customer in Toronto told Reuters. On Friday working afternoon, the vice president of Rogers told CBC that the company was still working to identify the root cause of the issue. As of now, we don't have an ETA of when the problem will be fixed. That is bad. When a company tells you that they don't have an ETA of when the problem will be fixed, you know shit has gone wrong. I wouldn't say I like to say whether it's going to be fully online today or not. He said, also declining to say whether cyber hackers may be to blame. This is the second major outage to affect Rogers in just over a year. Last April, customers reported intermediate disruptions while trying to access data or place voice calls. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is the big reason why you shouldn't have a monopoly over something. It's a big company controlling something. Like, to be fair, every company eventually something does go wrong. But if it goes wrong in a massive company controlling millions of devices, the outcomes will be devastating. Like, if this was, a small company, like, let's say like, for example, in the United States, it's not like a big company like AT&T or Verizon, but it's a small company affecting, I don't know, a couple thousand devices. That's not as bad. But if a major company like AT&T controlling millions of phones and providing internet and network access to millions of phones, that's where if something goes wrong, because something is going to go wrong regardless. Oh, it's like it doesn't revolve around on, oh, hey, it's a bigger company. It's like anything that will go wrong at some point, and we just have to make sure that the damage caused by it isn't this bad. And that's why I don't recommend, and just going into one ecosystem. Like, obviously it is much easier to have your phone and your Wi-Fi on the same ISP, but in cases like this, it is really recommended to have multiple options. Like, for example, I have two phone numbers. I have a dual SIM phone, and both of them are from different networks that are completely unrelated to each other. So if something does go wrong, I can switch to another number and another network. So it's not just for ease of access; it's for redundancy. So that's if something does go wrong, you can easily switch to another network that is working fine, because this is how people connect. If you don't deal with this properly, or if a major outage goes on, it's going to affect millions of people. And this is especially a place like, especially in Western countries, there seems to be a lot of monopoly over network. In USA or pretty much in Western countries, it's mainly TELUS, Rogers, AT&T, Verizon, and I think I'm missing some other ones. But if something does go wrong, you should have other options. And that's why when you have a lot of other options and a lot of people are using these other options, that outcome won't be as bad. So yeah, that's just my opinion on this. And once again, article by BBC News, and it'll be in the description down below. So next up, we have some news about the Truth social media app by Donald Trump, and due to some stuff, Donald Trump has removed himself from the board of his own social media. Yes, you heard that correctly. Donald Trump leaves the board of his own social media platform. Never thought I'd see the day. Okay, where is it? Trump already embattled by damning testimony in hearings before the January 6th Select Committee. And criminal and civil investigations in New York and Georgia. might also have to worry about his Twitter knockoff, Truth Social. They're calling it Twitter knockoff. Oh, they are in for some nice legal trouble, nice hot water trouble right there. So yeah, USA Today reports that Trump and several others close to him, including his son Donald Trump Jr. and a former White House aide, all removed themselves from the Truth Social's board shortly after subpoenas were handed down from the Securities and Exchange Commissions and a federal grand jury in New York seeking information about the company's operations. Trump started Truth Social last year as an alternative to Twitter, from which he was banned for repeatedly breaking the platform's policy on spreading false information, specifically about the 2020 election and the January 6th insurrection. But that's not why the SEC and potentially federal prosecutors are interested in the company. Where is it? Truth Social was promoted by Trump as a Twitter alternative for those who didn't want their content filtered and moderated, in other words. Twitter with even fewer pesky rules to keep trolls in line. A recent article in Forbes described it in less flattering terms, calling it a political and ad campaign in the guise of an open platform for discussion. The platform has reported roughly 2 million users compared with Twitter's 300 million active accounts. So yeah, the main reason why this Truth Social has extremely low user base compared to Twitter's 300 million is because of availability. Obviously, Truth Social is only available in the United States. Nowhere else, an Indian like me can't access on it and see all the garbage that is going to be spread on it. But yeah, he removed himself from his own social media platform. Never thought I'd see the day. Anyway, let's quickly move on. An article by The Root, it'll be in the description down below, and I'm sure many other like big social media companies will pick on this eventually. But anyway, next up on the list is Steam Deck. We got some Steam Deck news finally. I was actually, kind of like wondering why there was not much of the news surrounding the Steam Deck, but I guess I didn't, see it. But anyway, the Steam Deck's the browser that comes on the Steam Deck, which is Firefox, is apparently a very outdated. I forgot. Oh my god! Can I not get rid of this ad? Okay. So it comes with a very like old version of Firefox that is badly maintained. So yeah. Anyway, as has been reported by Gaming on Linux and chatted about on Reddit, the Steam Deck has got a bit of a security problem concerning its pretty badly outdated version of Firefox. Valve has reportedly promised a fix, but it won't come until the next SteamOS update. That's less than ideal. The current version of the non-popular popular Chromium browser is 102.0.1. Wait, 102.0.1? Isn't the latest one on Steam? I mean, the latest Firefox version, like in the 300? Oh no, maybe I'm thinking about something else, because no, it's still on like pretty new. So yeah, while SteamOS supports the 6-month-old version 96.0.3, you don't need to be a DEF CON hacking conference regular to know that you shouldn't run around with an out-of-date web browser. Yes, right, ladies and gentlemen. Don't run pretty much. Updates to a web browser improves its security, and while Google Chrome has auto updates that you very rarely notice, it is still recommended to constantly update your browser and to clear cookies or site data for websites that you don't visit or that you don't trust. Make sure to always update your web browser, and make sure to always use HTTPS as registered websites, so that you be safe on the internet, particularly one you use to store passwords for I don't know, social media websites, banking websites, or even Steam itself. By the way, don't store passwords in your browser. That's what password managers are for. Don't store passwords. You can actually disable it by going through settings, So basically, by going to settings, you can go to your autofill section and you can go to passwords, and then you can disable it. So yeah, Valve's last major SteamOS update arrived on May 26th, with frequent client updates in the weeks that followed. None updated the January build of Firefox, however, and there is also a beta available for the next OS update, but we'll have to opt into that, and it isn't a finalized build. That beta also does not update Firefox, nor is switching to a beta build of an operating system typically a good way to improve one's security posture. While drawing this specific issue out too much, it might be a mountain out of a molehill. To be fair, I'm far from from a security expert. It does bring up a challenge with SteamOS and Linux gaming in general. Well, the point here is that since it's a since it's a console technically, like a handheld console, the likelihood of it being affected by poorly or bad, not regularly updated software is honestly very low, but it's still not worth the risk. So try and update your web browsers is what I'm saying. As for the most recent Steam hardware and software survey results, Linux users account for only 1.18% of Steam's population. A tiny amount for sure, but one that is growing with the rising popularity of Linux native Steam Deck. The folks who typically run Linux operating systems are more than capable of keeping them secure, but what happens when the SteamOS population grows to a point where it becomes an attractive target for exploiting vulnerabilities and disturbing malware? And with the Steam Deck being advertised to the general public and not just hackers, the do's and don'ts of keeping a Linux machine safe are only to become more important. Yeah, since Linux is like arguably less secure than Windows. Like that is honestly up for debate. But I believe that for a consumer related product, anything that is, like custom, like for example, Linux operating systems have to be as secure or even more secure than closed source software. And that is a really like big goal and big target, and I hope that many OS developers start taking that seriously. If you have a Windows background, this way here Linux handles app installs may seem odd, with terms like Flatpak, Snap, and repository are flying around. Linux has its own way of doing things, and it's a little more complex than double-clicking a setup.exe. There's also no Linux Defender, and getting ready to ask you, are you sure you want to install this? Steam Deck's desktop mode might look similar to Windows or macOS, but I trust Valve has prioritized security. I also do trust that Valve has prioritized security, but adding in the wrong repository by grabbing random commands from the internet or doing simple things as getting Epic Games Store or GOG games to show up on Steam can easily land you in trouble if you aren't 100% sure on how to keep your machine safe. Yes, there are many ways to not only corrupt an installation but completely brick it due to inserting wrong commands or trying to bypass errors of incompatible software. There are many ways that things can go wrong, and there are not enough security measures in Linux put in because what the OS developers see is that this is not really a consumer related product. But if Steam or if Valve should not have that same narrative if they're trying to make the Steam Deck a consumer related product. And it has to be as secure and has, idiot proof is the term as possible. So yeah, for many, the Steam Deck might not just be the first Linux gaming device, but the first experience with Linux period. Android doesn't count. As Steam Deck and SteamOS continue to gain users, many will be more interested in getting their games to run properly with the least possible hassle than learning how to safely manage a Linux OS from the ground up. Right now, the most noob Linux gaming questions are answered by generous, helpful enthusiasts, not bad actors. But it's not hard to imagine someone with malicious intentions and the knowledge of how to exploit situations like outdated software stepping in to take advantage of users who don't know, say, the dangers of random scripts. So yeah, Valve has a lot of security related stuff to do, and I really hope they do that before the Steam Deck becomes, like officially commercially viable. So yeah, consoles are locked down gaming environments for many reasons, but security certainly is a chief among them. And while Windows security can definitely be compromised, most of us just assume Windows Defender will keep us from a complete disaster. And it usually does, and that is true. Valve may be right by going all in on Linux for the future of gaming, but security challenges are only going to grow as the Steam Deck gains in popularity. Moving forward, Valve will be wise to do its best to keep security considerations at the forefront, and that's going to demand more timely updates with an eye towards patching potentially critical vulnerabilities as its user base grows large enough to attract nefarious interests. So yeah, that's just my opinion is that try to keep your stuff as updated as possible, and especially on Linux, make sure to follow don't not follow like official like unlicensed stuff, not unlicensed. What the hell? Like make sure don't do anything stupid. Please research about anything you're going to do, like for example command lines. You can always reach out to people on the Discord server or the forums or online, and there are always people to help you out. But even if there are people to help you out, make sure to have backups of any files that you have on Linux, because stuff can go wrong even if the person helping you had no malicious intent. So yeah, that's just my thoughts on this entire thing. The article is by Kotaku and it will be in the description down below. And then on to our last technology story. And then after that, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 stories left in half an hour. And we're just going to run through all of these after a quick water break. Am I still alive? I better be still alive. I mean, not alive. Jeez, life. I am still alive. Okay. Whew. Actually, no. We only have 2 more topics to do. So, no, 5 topics. Why is there a butterfly in my room? My room is closed. Where the fuck did he come from? Okay, don't bother me or else you're dead. So anyway, our next topic, PlayStation Store. The PlayStation Store removes movies from libraries after after the service has been shut down. So we know how know all the PlayStation services like PlayStation Store, but I mean PlayStation Movies, PlayStation TV, all of that has been shut down, and now the movies that you have been downloaded are no longer available. So yeah, this article is by The Verge and it'll be in the description down below. So yeah, anyway, let's quickly go through this. PlayStation Store, where the hell is my cursor? PlayStation Store removes purchased movies from libraries after service shutdown. Sony removes access to hundreds of movies and TV shows on its PlayStation Store service next month, meaning users that have previously paid for titles such as Paddington and The Hunger Games will no longer be able to watch them. The shutdown affects users in Germany and Austria, according to legal notices posted on the 2 regional sites, and covers films produced by Studio Canal. The shutdown will come into force on 31st August, exactly 1 year after Sony discontinued PlayStation movie and PlayStation TV show purchases through its digital store. After the time, Sony said that its consumers will be able to access previously purchased content. Notices posted on the PlayStation website blame evolving license agreements with content providers via machine translation for the change, and say that purchased content will be removed from the customers' video libraries. According to Variety, the change affects 314 titles in Germany and 137 in Austria. Affected titles include Chicken Run, John Wick, La La Land, Logan Lucky, blah 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 blah. It is unclear whether refunds will be provided to affected customers. I think refunds will be provided, but it honestly depends. And yeah, I think refunds will be provided because technically you still own that movie and you're just selling it back. So yeah, while we have gotten used to the idea that TV shows and films can disappear from streaming services over time, leaving them inaccessible to subscribers, it's much rarer to see it happen on services that let you buy titles to own digitally. That's not to say it's unheard of. When Flickster Video shut down, Pocketlint reported that some titles weren't compatible with the Google Play migration process that was meant to allow UK customers to continue to have access of them. Apple's use of the word buy for digital titles received the right to revoke access, even been challenged legally in the past. The shutdown service as a crucial reminder that even if you buy a title digitally, your ownership often still relies on a retailer continuing to exist and having the correct licensing deals in place. If you want to guarantee ownership forever, then physical purchases are still your best bet, although not always. So yeah, this is the best thing. The shutdown services are a crucial reminder that even if you buy something digitally, your ownership still relies on a retailer. Even though you legally own the movies, PlayStation's TV one day will get shut down, and so it will revoke your content and hopefully will provide you with a refund. So yeah, that's just my thoughts on this. Is who the fuck uses PlayStation TV anyways? But anyway, article by the words will be in the description down below. And that is it for our technology news. And now onto the gaming news. Oops, we have obviously the Steam summer sale that I forgot to talk about on last show. How long have we been live for? So I started this on 11:10, so 12:10, 1:10, 1 hour, almost 1.5 hours. So okay. Oh my god, fuck off. Okay, I hate these stupid intrusive pop-ups. So yeah. Anyway, uh, I I will strang. Okay, I shouldn't threaten, but anyway, the best deals in 2022 Steam Summer Sale. Hell, Steam sales on 2022 games and deals of some of our favorites at the lowest prices. This article is by PC Gamer. It'll be, is it by PC Gamer? Okay, yes it is. Every year, tens of thousands of new Steam games pile onto Steam, and the annual Steam Summer Sale gets a little bit harder to tame. Sure, the front package is a well-manicured wooden pasture dotted with hit games, but what else is lurking out there in the jungle? What rare fruits await discovery deep in the heart of Steam? What 22 games are surprised already on sale, even though they have barely time to take root? We have gone blah 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 blah. And here are some of the games that you might be interested in. And so yeah, Ghostwire Tokyo original price was at $29.99 and now it's at $24.99. These prices are in pound. No, wait, what the hell? Wait, what? No, wait, what the hell is going on here? Wait. No, I think it's in pounds. Where is it? What the hell? Am I retarded? Or... Oh, that's pounds. So... So, $24.99. 24.99. That is $30. Okay, I think that is a mistake. Wait, what the fuck? No, that doesn't make sense. Wait. So 50% off of 30 is 15. 50, 36. What the hell? Okay, no, I don't think this is wrong. I think this is in both currencies, and then it is 50% off. Okay. So Ghostwire Tokyo buying the original price was 29.99 or 24.99 pounds. Its selling price right now is around 13 pounds or $15 for Ghostwire Tokyo. Next up, Monster Hunter Rise. Launch price was $30.59. 49% will be around $15. Dying Light 2 is 33% off, so that will be around $13, around 13, I think, $13. No, it'll be 40 minus 13, so around 20, 27, yeah, around 27 US dollars. Now, the next Outward Definitive Edition was original price of 19.99, and now it is 50% off, so around 10 US dollars. Next up, Citizen Sleeper launch price was at 15.99. It's now on 20% off, so 15. So I think about uh, $11. Next, God of War was launch price was 39.99. It's now on 20%, so that is 33. I think $33. There's then the Stanley's Parable Ultra Deluxe. Launch price was around 16.74%. It's now on 33%, so that is $6. $5 to $6, I think. Yeah, 5.3 ish. Next up, Tunic. Also, there are a lot, and you can go through this list. And you can check out all of these ones. I just covered like basically the first 5 ones. There are a lot of games on sale, and you can check out this list down below. So yeah, once again, article by PC Gamer, and happy summer Steam sale, everyone. All right, next up, this one's pretty big. Fall Guys reaches 50 million players after just 2 weeks of becoming free to play. Now it's a little bit late. Now it's around 3 weeks. But yeah, article by IGN. It's in the description down below. So yeah, shortly after its initial release, Fall Guys saw a dip in player population after launch, as it's natural with most online games. However, the game was released as a free-to-play title in late June. As it is growing, it has seen a massive resurgence, and the numbers only keep growing. According to a tweet from Fall Guys after its release, the game has reached 50 million players in the span of just 2 weeks. That is an impressive increase from its first week as a free-to-play title, which saw 20 million players in just 48 hours. So Fall Guys tweeted, "We are in absolute disbelief. 50 million players in 2 weeks. Unbelievable. Thank you, everyone." The increase in players is largely due to Fall Guys' new model. The game switched to a fully free-to-play Battle Pass model on June 21st, nearly 2 years after its initial release. While players still have the option to play for a season pass and other colorful cosmetics, the base game is now free to play for the first time, although it's no longer on Steam and has since moved to the Epic Games launcher, allowing plenty of new players to fall into the world of Fall Guys for the first time. So yeah, the Battle Royale platform quickly became a fan favorite after its release in 2020. In our 8 out of 10 review, based anyway, IGN said a collection of exciting minigames and a smattering of every color under the rainbow makes Fall Guys a consistent delight, even if it can be a frustrating one at times. So yeah, Fall Guys hit 50 million players. That's honestly incredible. Like, for a resurgence, that's pretty cool. And for just a kind of indie, kind of colorful game that released in 2020, had a little bit of a start and then died the moment Among Us came, and then now that's dying and this is rising. Pretty cool. All right. Now I think that's done for the video for the gaming news. Next up on the entertainment news, we have a little bit of an interesting topic. Now the first one is I'm actually really late on this. I meant to cover this on Wednesday, a show, but I forgot. So yeah, controversial clickbait YouTuber It's Owen gets its whole channel terminated for clickbaiting a fake reaction of Mr. Beast towards the unfortunate death of the YouTuber Technoblade. So we all do know about these clickbait channel or these channels basically clickbaiting the death of Technoblade, to gain views and to gain like basically gain traction, and lots of people are not happy with this. They're calling this, like, this is absolute disrespect, and this is not part of the script. But I woke up today, opened Twitter. Oh wait, I have to sign in. But what I was saying was, I opened Twitter, and you know how that account called Images That Makes You Feel Pain? That account posted something that I have to show you if Twitter even wants to open in the first place. That was incredible. Let's Twitter open. So there's this account that pretty much everyone follows. It's called Images That Make You Feel Pain. And they tweeted something that is honestly like god tier, you could just say. This one, I think, is this one. Yeah. Like, what do I even say? Let me just decrease the exposure. Okay. Technoblade NFT project. Nice. Attention all crypto investors and Minecraft fans. This is an opportunity you don't want to miss. The Technoblades Heaven and Hell collection is now publicly available on Rarible. Collectible Technoblade and celebrate Technoblade's life with this one-of-a-kind artwork. That is the worst NFT I think I have ever seen. And I have seen some terrible ones, but I think this one takes a cake for the worst. Now, I can see the humor part of this, but this is not funny. Like, this is not funny. Things that people do are just not, no. Okay, I don't even know why I brought this up. I just thought it was kind of amusing to see. But anyway, YouTuber It's Owen gets called out for clickbaiting Oh, shut up, Technoblade then for views had his channel terminated soon after. So I just want to thank YouTube for terminating this. And if they follow up with all the other channels that are clickbaiting in this absolute unfortunate news, it'll be yeah, I think I'll have a little bit more respect for this. But anyway, article by Sportskita, it'll be down in the description down below. Online communities continue to mourn the unexpected passing of the YouTube legend Technoblade, but some content creators like It's Owen took the opportunity to use the YouTuber's death to increase their viewership. It's Owen is a somewhat controversial figure in the YouTube community. He's mostly known for creating clickbait content that is notorious for self-promoting himself in the comment section of various small YouTube creator videos. Soon after Technoblade's death, Owen uploaded a video titled Mr. Beast's Final Goodbye to Technoblade, which fetched more than 800,000 views within the first 20 hours of its upload. The video also managed to hit the trending page of the video sharing platform. Now, I want to talk about Mr. Beast. A lot of people are basically criticizing Mr. Beast for, not saying anything about the passing of Technoblade. And once again, not everyone has to address I mean, I thought it was kind of surprising, like how Mr. Beast wouldn't, tweet, didn't say anything. But obviously he knows. He's just not said anything, and no one has to say anything about this. They can choose to keep quiet. They can choose to keep their grievances to themselves. And I think Mr. Beast has done that because there's no way he doesn't know about this. So yeah, Owen's channel was terminated soon after, and the content creator took to Twitter to express his feelings. So yeah, this is by iJevin. He's part of the Hermitcraft series, the Hermitcraft server, not the Hermitcraft series. So yeah, IT Activate MC he tweeted, YouTuber clickbaiting Technoblade's death for views has made me lose all faith in humanity. It is just so messed up. And then like later it's Owen tweets at Team YouTube, my YouTube channel with 3.5. Oh, I didn't mean to click on it. God damn it. At Team YouTube, my YouTube channel with 3.5 million subscribers just got terminated. Please help me get it back. I am so depressed right now. I don't know what to do. And iGen's tweet actually blew up. It got 18,000 likes. Nice. So yeah, anyway, Twitter reacts to YouTuber It's Owen getting terminated after clickbaiting Technoblade's death. Twitter user iJevin put out an update on Owen's antics. It soon went viral, attracting 18,000 likes and over 100 replies. Fans were delighted to hear that a controversial YouTuber's account was suspended, with many joking that only Technoblade was allowed to clickbait himself. Some fans had sharp words for the 19-year-old content creator and stated that the death of a YouTube channel was less severe than the death of an actual person. Some user made fun of Owen's recent Twitter updates. Yeah, this is just a massive L at this point. I mean, and yeah, I mean, obviously it is deserved, and no, I wanted to make this clear on like whether you should make videos about relating to someone's death or not. And I want to start off by saying that if someone has passed away and you choose to make a video on it, one, that video should not be monetized. Two, it should not be trying to attract, the algorithm, like just spam, keywords or spam um, hashtags or add clickbait thumbnails or add, like some form of clickbait to it. You don't do this because you have respect for that person. You're not using that person's death for your gain. You're using it to notify people. That should be your agenda. And so many people have taken this to the utmost level that it's honestly so disrespectful to not only the person who has passed away, but to their family, to their community, and to the entire YouTube community. This just looks like just horrible. So, if you're going to make a video on them, you're supposed to be as respectful as possible. You come out, I mean, you're not you come out as honest and as normal as possible, and you don't tell people, hey, go like and subscribe or anything. You have to be as respectful as possible because you're talking about a very sensitive topic that is a tragedy to so many people. This is a tragedy to 11 million people. So yeah, just be respectful and don't clickbait or don't make hundreds of videos, and most of all, don't monetize this. This is not for monetary gain. You are not supposed to make a video about the death of an actual person for monetary gain. That is so scummy. So yeah, that's just my opinion. Please do consider it. And yeah, article by Sportskita will be down in the description. Next up, we have a story, ladies and gentlemen. So, there is a YouTuber, and I do have to mention the name of this YouTuber because I have to show who they are. And there's this YouTube channel, and once again, I want to say, do not send hate to them. Right? You are doing something worse than them. So yeah, there's this YouTube channel called Brasso. Oh, a commentator with around 100,000 subscribers. He made a video on Technoblade passing, and then another one, and then another one, and then another one, and then he made 9 videos on Technoblade. Now, he's made videos on, what do you call it? How do you say this? Uh, 1 second. Let me just open it in incognito so I don't show any red bars. Not red bars, but I don't want it to be in my search history. And also, so did he delete his hello? Okay, so what I was saying was, I have no problem with y'all making like videos on the passing of YouTube, but on the passing of a creator, but you have to be as respectful as possible. And I think one video is enough. This dude Brasso has made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 videos in 2 days. Now, after getting a lot of hate and stuff, stuff for this on the internet, he said, basically came out and said that he's going to donate all of the ad revenue made from these videos. Yes, the videos are monetized, but that's a terrible thing to do. And if you want to raise money for charity, you do it with the fundraiser option that is there on YouTube. But he didn't use that. And he said that he's going to donate all of the money made by this made through all of these videos to charity. And he published a now deleted video that I think I can bring up. So yeah, basically what he said was he's going to donate all the money that these videos make to charity. And he published a video where he said that all of the videos made a grand total of 3,000 US dollars. And then he and after that he went to the Technoblade kind of like donation page on the official sarcoma foundation in America, and he donated in quotes 3,000 US dollars. But after noticing after some people like dove into and see what happened, this dude, so this is his original clip. All right, I want you guys to look at this donate button. Obviously this is his personal information and it is blurred there, and so let's watch that in slow motion, what happened right there. So look at what happens. You see that cut that just happened there? And you know what else has changed? Look very closely. That's right. In that cut that he makes, he forgot I mean, I spoiled it for you. The comma suddenly disappears. Now, how could that happen? If the video suddenly cuts and then the comma here gets um if it disappears. And the only logical reason that anyone can come to is that this dude faked this donation, which is on a whole another level of scum that I don't think I have ever seen in my entire life on this on YouTube. Imagine milking a trend of a YouTuber that is dying, monetizing the video, not including a fundraiser, and then making multiple videos, then saying that you're going to donate all of the money that you have made from these videos to charity, and then faking that donation. That is a level of scum I don't think I've ever seen on this entire channel. I mean, on this entire website. I have been on this website for what? Since 2014, so that is 8 years, and I have never seen something like this. That is, that is disgusting. And, oh my god. Like, imagine being that much of a terrible person. And once he got called out on this, obviously people were really mad. People are like, you took this too far. And then he made an apology video saying that he had quote unquote too much pressure. And so basically why he faked this donation. So he admitted it and he apologized. And he told that the reason why he faked this donation is because YouTube takes a lot of time to process payments, and that is true. YouTube takes at least 2 to 3 weeks to process the payments and send it to creators. And since he was in quote a lot of pressure because a lot of people were talking about him and effectively hate campaigning against him, he decided to donate $3,000 when he was actually only donating $300, so that he could pretend that he donated, and then once he received the money, then he would donate the remaining $2,700, which is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Now, I can understand those 2 points. One, that he's in a lot of pressure because, yes, he's under a lot of pressure. His whole career is now at stake. And two, that YouTube takes a lot of time to process payments. Still, that is still the dumbest thing I think I've ever heard. I mean, actually, no. I think that is the dumbest thing I've ever heard all day. Like, how are you this unbelievably retarded that I have no words. This dude would have got less hate if he had donated the money when he received it, or he would have got less hate than if he hadn't donated any money at all. That is just, doing, donating the money later when you had received it would have got him less hate than donating the money, than fake donating it now. And it is not even that, it's just such a stupid mistake to make. How do you forget to put the comma in? Do you not review the videos that you watch? Like, oh my god, I am just in absolute shock that people are this stupid. Like, if you want to donate, you could have donated a month ago, and then people would have still had more respect for you than what you've done right now. But what you've just proven is that not only are you a liar, you are tampering with information to convince people into thinking you're a good person. And any form of respect that you have had now is effectively on down the drain. You just shot the biggest bullet into your foot for absolutely no reason. You did this to yourself, Brasso. I'm not saying that, hey, anyone is like, oh, Like, I don't even know what to say. Like, this is such a massive train wreck. You know, you make a video on Technoblade passing. I mean, sorry, you make like like almost 10 videos on Technoblade passing. You don't add a fundraiser, you monetize the video, so that is already 3 strikes. Then you tell people that you are going to donate the money you earn from the videos for charity, which is not an excuse. You still milked a trend that originated from someone dying. And then after all of that, you fake donating and then expect people to believe you when you're going to donate when you receive the money. No one is going to believe you. And as a commentator, if no one's going to believe you, you have no purpose on this website. If no one is going to believe what you're saying, if people are thinking that you're a liar, your credibility is gone. Your trustability is gone. Your reputation is down the drain. And that is something that only you are at fault, and nobody else. That is the thing. That's why this thing is just so unbelievably stupid. It's because you caused it yourself. You just dug your grave deeper and deeper and deeper. If you had just said in the start that I am going to do if you just hadn't done anything, if you had just made that one video like Technoblade, thank you for everything, and ended it there, you wouldn't have been the place where you are today. And I don't want to just use this as like something that I'm just criticizing and just piling on even more hate on this YouTuber Butterfly. If you don't fuck off in the next 12 seconds, you are dead. I just want this guy to stop doing this, to improve and become a better commentator. Because if he has 100,000 subscribers, he is one of the faces of this commentary community that I am a part of, that so many other creators are a part of. And if this is the image that the commentary community is painted with, then it's just a loss for everyone. So yeah, that's just my thoughts on this entire situation. Once again, so unbelievably dumb. And you know what the problem is, chat? This is far from the worst. At least this dude apologized. And like, even though like anything that he said, I don't believe him. I don't believe he's going to donate the money when he receives it. I think this is just a lost cause. But he is far from the worst. You think he made it? You think he made 9 videos and stopped? Oh no, some other channels, and that channel is called Dream SMP Official. And this channel, oh my god. You want to count the videos? So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18 19 20 21 22 23 24 25 26 27 28 videos in the last week. All of them monetized. No fundraiser. Look at the thumbnails. They have popular figures. They have Technoblade. They have Tommy. They have Elon Musk. They have Technoblade himself. They have Pokimane. They have Hypixel Stab. They have Dream. And look at the description. Where is the... Oh no, wait, that's not the description. Look. Oh no, he removed the tags. Okay, well, thank God I have proof of that. This is the same Title. Look at this. There are tags in the description. There are hashtags. This is pure cancer. I hate this so much. This is so incredibly disrespectful, so disingenuous, so sickening. And oh my god. Okay, I think I'm gonna stop talking about this because it's just gonna get worse and worse and worse. But once again, that's my thoughts on this entire situation. And once again, please do not do this. Please, that person has died. Do not milk that trend. So, that is the end of the topic, and we have our final topic, and this topic is arguably even stupider than this is. Oh my god, dude, I can't. So I want to guess what happened right here. So we're gonna go to twitter.com, and I want you to guess like what happened. So you guys know what who ISO speed is, or speed. And if you're paying attention for the last week, you know what happened. And I really hope you're on the side that. Oh wait, I only tweeted about this. Wait 1 second. Twitter.com/ Are we live for 3 hours now? Let me just refresh my feed. Please tell me I'm live for 3 hours. I'm getting very tired. Yes, we're live for 3 hours officially. So, you guys won't believe what happened if you guys don't know. Well, looks like y'all were right to there being no limit to stupidity. Huge YouTuber and streamer ISO/speed lit a firecracker inside his house on stream and nearly caused a fire. There were flammable objects everywhere and a whole box of firecrackers right there. Now, I want you guys to watch this. I'm gonna disconnect my headphones, plug into my computer, and I'm gonna bring my headphones as closest to the mic as possible. Guys, listen to this. This is just pure content. Pikachu! Jeez. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we had a streamer open. Not open, light a firecracker on a mattress surrounded by wooden furniture, a carpet, inside a house on stream. To say that this is a fire hazard is honestly an understatement. Like, what did I just witness? And apparently, the fire department showed up, and this is. I am actively face palming. This is the dumbest thing I think I have ever seen on YouTube. in YouTube streaming. I didn't say, "Oh, this is the dumbest thing I've ever seen." Dumbest thing I've ever seen. How are people this dumb? And obviously, there are two sides of this, and I do agree with both sides. One, it's funny. Two, it's stupid. But this could have gone so badly wrong. I forgot to mention there are a bunch of firecrackers right there. If even a spark hit them at the wrong place, all of them would have exploded, and this room would be in flames. Like, I am glad that this dude kicked it, like here, because those, look, it's hitting the furniture, and if it hits it at the wrong place, it's gonna catch on fire. Like, how are people this dumb? Do you not know not to open a firecracker inside your own house? How are people this dumb? Okay, well, we have an article to read about this, and oh God help us. Like, please, any God, like, please help us. This society is gonna die. I thought it was the popping ones, ma. I should speed. What does it say? I should speed. Freaks out after lighting fireworks indoor. Luckily, avoids major fire. This could have gone so badly wrong. And yeah, okay. Uh, Darren Aisho's speed has constantly risen in the YouTube ranks over the past couple of months and has recently crossed the 9 million subscriber mark. His over-top reactions and controversial statements have put him in the limelight, garnering a big following. On his 4th of July stream, I forgot to mention this was for 4th of July, which is the United States Independence Day. The Ohio native got a call with KSI, but his stream ended on a sour note. Towards the end, he opened a large box of fireworks and lit one inside the room on top of his bed, despite some in his chat asking him to go outside. Yeah, I think the worst part of this is the chat basically, cheering him on, just like they're like, do it, do it, do it, do it, and obviously stuff happened. Fire department shows up, and they are just in shock that some moron lit a firecracker inside his home. So yeah, we talked about that. After a point, it even flew off camera. I don't think it flew off camera. I think he kicked it, right? Yeah, I think he kicked it. Oh no, he grabbed it. This dude, oh my god. Okay, it just keeps getting worse and worse. It gets worse and worse. Many in his chat warned him of not doing anything like this inside the house. The mods even started calling him dumb. His own mods after he lit the after he lit the Pikachu cracker. Yeah, go outside, go outside, go outside. I go outside. Even the mods are like, go outside. You're so dumb, idiot. The live stream failed subreddit had a field day with this. Oh my god. Oh, they had a field day. They had the best day. Many pointed how lucky iShow Speed Host was not starting a major fire, especially with a box of fireworks lying right next to it. Alright, that is enough stupidity for today, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all so much for watching today's live stream. If you've liked what you've seen, make sure to give it a like, and if not, give it a subscribe. Make sure to turn on post notifications, and I'll be live every single Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday night from 11 o'clock p.m. IST to 2 o'clock a.m. IST. Mostly, maybe not every time, because I have stupid stuff to do. So yeah, anyway, thank you all so much for watching, and this is Aero heading out, ready to be live again on Wednesday. Thank you all so much for watching, and have a great